do all the variants from here. Okay.
Okay, so this is for a two-hand lapel grab. Once those fingers lock in place, it'll be very difficult to step back, do this, and then try to knock this arm down and then strike back. You have to consider the person's size that you're teaching when you teach a technique. The art should fit the person, not the person the art.
Oh, you heard that? I didn't even say nothing. Will you say that again, please? We said it again?
The martial art should fit the person, not the person to the art. Reason being is because we are all different sizes and different strengths. So we have to make this work for our individual personal selves, not to uphold some ancient style concept, because that it makes no sense. So when we're doing a technique like this, someone does grab you, they're very strong, you're not going to have much of a chance to do this here, okay? So what you want to do is you step back and pin both of those arms. Okay, just bring them down here like this. Now look at my options here. I can use my elbow, I can use my forearm if I want, I can use my fist and punch if I want, okay? Another option is when the person grabs, I can step back and bring both arms down this way here, okay? Now, what do I do from here? I can push the person down, take off and run if I want to, or I can grab this wrist here, and have his right wrist to control, step back, boom, and come to here. Okay? So those are techniques that are most practical. Another thing is when the person grabs, okay, I'm stepping back and I'm shooting straight into the solar steps, solar plexus right here, okay? And I'm going to take that air away from the person. Take the air away from them, they're no more good to themselves either, okay? So just because that you have a technique goes like that doesn't mean that everybody can do it, okay? Doesn't mean that everybody can do it. If you can, great. But there is a time period in which you must get that technique going. You can't let them grab and say, oh, okay, I know this technique real well, so yeah, you can go ahead and grab me like that, and I'm going to do this technique. And then the guy has arms the size of trash cans. A little difficult to do here now, okay? So, also another thing, always possible, if the person's arms are exposed like this, you always have the inside of the person's arm here to pinch, okay, stuff like that, all right? Another thing you can do, 2 fingers or 1 finger into the throat, okay? You don't need all of this stuff here all the time. It's just not necessary, okay?
Now, all of this I learned as kimono grab-a. It's very, very important that we make this distinction here. I know most of you guys, look at kimono grab, long kimono grab-a. You do this pin, you step off an angle, you try to break the arm, V-chamber, pivot, hammer the block down, and hand sword. As you pointed out, there's a whole host of practical applications that impact its actual options and its actual use in a real situation where your opponent's attacking you. They're almost never static. When they grab you, they'll move you. There's usually something hostile coming from the other side. So you don't have the time to wait for them to grab you. Expect yourself to be stabilized and not move. Pin their arms, hoping that they'll stay there. Then step off to one side and do an upper block. You try to break their arm. Rechamber, lower block, hand sword. Most of the time, you don't have those options because the first thing that happens when they grab you is you get displaced. And usually, what happens is when that attack comes, it occurs with some form of surprise along with it. You're not expecting him to grab you. He may grab you out of nowhere. You could be in the midst of an escalating verbal confrontation. He just grabs you, or you could even know that you're getting ready to fight, and he grabs you anyway. And that still catches you by surprise because you were expecting him to do something, but you weren't expecting him to do that. So all of these applications he showed us apply to long kimono, kimono grab-a, because it's named after the attack that's hit here. And notice that even though the techniques he utilized were different, the principles are always the same. he manipulated my height, width, and depth. The first thing he did when I grab here, first move with the pen, immediately, jack my balance. See, he's pulling my balance off, my head is coming down. That's height, width, and depth manipulation he's doing right there. Okay? Even when he does the strike, this mess hurts, so I don't know why I'm doing this again. Right? So even if he does the strike, he pins here like that, right here, boom, that. Even when he does that, he's still utilizing the same principles, height, width, and depth manipulation, penetrating strike. Okay? He's hitting specific regions. You guys can't quite see. Let me turn this way so you can see. Watch where his elbow is landing. When he grabs me here, he puts me here, boom, right here. See that? This area is directly behind my ear, in that really agonizing space. Let me turn here. He hit me directly behind my ear in that agonizing space between the hollow of the back of your jaw and under the ear. It's right it's called a mastoid. It's my left mastoid. He hit me there. He practically ripped the whole hinge of my jaw off, and he disrupted my balance all with this single strike. And he disoriented me. Notice how that same application applies no matter what your size is. Because he's using the principles here, and he's aware of our height and weight differences. If he would have grabbed me, I could do the same thing if I executed it properly. You guys can't quite see it because the camera is not quite, it's on a stand. But his footwork is magnificent, and this is where everything comes from. He marries his movements, his upper torso's movements with his lower torso's movements, and of course the way in which he torques and utilizes his core. So even if you come a little bit more forward, so even when I grab him right here, and he says that movement right there, boom, right there. See that? You guys can't quite see it, but the use of his legs, his stance is beautiful. The pen is there, and then he's ripping me and turning me the elbow. the other way. Thank you. I want to do that again from the other side so you can see where his hands are. You saw where his legs is and what happened with me. When I grab and he pins me with that hand, see that? Bam. See that right there? See what he's doing with his left hand? Okay, now slow down so you can see it. Okay, watch what he's doing right here with his hands. This is where I get it from, guys. This is where that mess hurts. Even when he grabs you from the beginning, thank you. You guys don't quite see this, experience this, but everything is hurting. Everything is hurting. The moment I grab